believe the hype on this Tuesday, June 11th.
Yes, my mom's birthday tomorrow.
All right, well, happy birthday, Mom. Was she 21?
121.
Ooh, you said it, I didn't. It is now 105 degrees here in Southern California where we are.
Third day in a row.
So we're in the studio under the hot lights and it's just hot. So if we start to melt, forgive us.
Chocolate.
Don't charge it to our hearts. Charge it to the global warming.
Yes.
So anyway, we're going to talk about sports.
Unusual for Demetri K to talk about sports.
Very unusual, right? So actually, this topic was brought to me by Al, because he's into sports.
Yes,
and
very much.
all that stuff. So he was telling me you should talk about this, that, and the other. And it's funny because we were kind of talking about Kevin Durant. I've not watched the playoffs or the world. What do you call it? The championship. Well, I haven't watched sports in years. So anyway, we were talking. And he was telling me what happened with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant being a forward for the Golden State Warriors. He's been there since 2016. But he's been in the league, for a bunch of years now.
Yeah, he's been in the league. He started with the Seattle Supersonics.
Yes,
Seattle Supersonics doesn't even have a team.
All right, and then he went to Oklahoma, and so now he's with the Golden State Warriors. So anyway, last night during the game, which it seemed like the Golden State Warriors were going to lose, they're playing the Toronto Raptors. He ended up injuring his Achilles. As he was, running or whatever the case is, and so not unusual for an athlete to hurt themselves. But what is, I guess, a little bit odd and unusual is that, because normally what happens to a player when they hurt themselves? What does the crowd normally do?
They cheer and they're concerned and they're
they're silent for a minute, and then once the athlete gets up,
they applaud and
they
encourage him.
But what happened was when he went down, they were clapping and cheering and woo! And
well, he is known as the Slim Reaper.
Right, okay, whatever that means. But so a lot of people took issue with that, and even the co-owner, they call them investors now.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was crying and stuff. He was upset, or I don't know if it's the coach or the owner. He was crying because he was like, "Wow, this could end his career. I don't know where it is now, but it could end his career. But then yet we have people laughing and cheering. This is this pure evil." So as I said, a lot of people took issue with it. And so when Al was telling me about this last night, I said, well, when are these athletes going to realize that they're seen as product? Yeah, you're a product. Whether you're in the NFL, the NBA, whatever the case is, you are product to these people. It is no different than, back in the day when they would lynch people. What did they do? It wasn't a somber occurrence. Like, oh my gosh, we just got to lynch this nigger because he was... It was yay!
Yeah.
And they took food and they got souvenirs and a whole host of things.
Or like the movie Django, you just sport.
It's a sport, right? And so here we are in 2019. It's the same thing. Like this guy may have a career-ending injury, and you're laughing and you're cheering. And so Al said it was a good analogy that I made. I said to them, watching especially black athletes play is just it goes great with their chips and dips and their hot wings. You're just part of the entertainment package here. And so I'm not surprised by that. And so he was telling me that I guess Sean King, he does the Tom Joyner Morning Show Tuesdays and Thursdays. We don't get it out here, but he was saying that Sean King was saying he may end up entertaining boycotting the NBA because it's just crazy. Now the other part that I was going to talk about was last week during the same playoffs, Kyle Lowry. He plays for, he's on the Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors.
He's on the Raptors. See, I don't know nothing about sports, but I tried to get a little information for y'all. He's been playing since 2006, I think it is. So he ended up trying to get the ball or whatever, was involved in trying to get the ball, and ended up falling into the stands, the crowd. So, on the floor seats are very close to the court or whatever the case is. So he ended up falling. Didn't even fall on the guy that shoved him. The guy went out of his way to shove him,
the guy that shoved him was a co-owner.
Well, that's what I was getting up to. So people thought that it was just a fan, but it turns out they don't call them owners anymore. They call them investors. Because I can't remember the name of the player who took issue with calling them their owners, and so they changed it to their name to investors. But they found out that he's like a very small investor in the Golden State Warriors. His name is actually, Mark Stevens, and he's a venture capitalist where they invest in they invest in these little startups and that end up becoming big and they get all their money from that. And so he's worth about $2.3 billion. he's there and he pushes the guy for absolutely no reason at all. And so, you know, that just kind of goes into the argument of your property. Your property. I don't know. Maybe you felt like you got too close to him. This, you know, black dude is too close. I don't know what his deal was. So anyway, he ends up getting fined $500,000.
Yeah, wasn't he banned from?
For a year.
For a year, yeah.
Now, when fans do that, they get banned for life.
Yeah, you're done.
You know, and only so you only find this dude. He put his hands on him in the most disrespectful way ever. You know, and the way he shoved him was like, ugh, you disgust me. But it's like, fool, yeah, he's not on your team, but he's in an arena to where you guys are all making money off of this championship and all this other stuff, but yet you push him in a way I can't stand you. And so again, that's just another example of, regardless if you're playing for the NBA, the NFL, whatever, you are a commodity to them, like slaves were a commodity back in the day. And Farrakhan talks about it all the time, how he likens the athletes to highly paid slaves, not to be disrespectful to them, but just to say, hey, these owners, or used to be called owners, these investors, now they don't care about you. They only care what you're bringing to the table. They only care that you're making them more money.
Right.
You
filling
are replaceable. Yeah, it's filling seats. And so at some point in time, because you're starting to see, well, because I remember like when Kaepernick was kneeling and all that other stuff, you had LeBron and all them, they, you know, supporting him and stuff. And they were kind of like grateful that they didn't really have those issues in the NBA. But it's like, well, I don't know if it's something new that's going on with the disrespect, the crowd hooping and hollering when somebody hurts themselves, and the owner or the investors, you know, starts putting their hands on people. But it's like, surely you don't think you're different. Surely you don't think that's an NFL issue. And, you know, the NBA, they respect us. I mean, this is going to sound jacked up, but they are who they are. Right. Money, and I think you talk about this once, money don't make you better.
Right.
You know, and them paying you a lot of money don't make you better in their eyes. It doesn't make you a respectable Negro, if you will.
You're still black.
Yeah, you're still a black man at the end of the day. And I would question too, this, you know, Mark Stevens, this investor, if that was a white player that had fell all over the place, right? You know, exactly. You know, get him some water.
Right. Hold on, right here.
Right, but I was like, golly, you ain't even gonna hide your disgust. And so on the other hand, somebody made a good point: is what if Kyle would have put his hands on him, you know, and choked him out or something? He would have faced a harsher penalty for doing that to him than, you know. So it's like, obviously, and we're not saying. I am saying the scale should be balanced, but we know in the white man's world it ain't gonna be balanced.
Never.
You know,
Never.
Which is why you don't have, especially like in the NFL, a lot of the players were just like, well, yeah, you know, Kaepernick was kind of right, but I don't want to say nothing.
I don't want to mess up my coin.
Right, I don't want to mess up my check here, and so I'm just gonna go along with it, kind of, sorta. So I think the word owner is apropos. I think that it is very appropriate to call them the owners, because anytime you're afraid to rock the boat with somebody or to really just, you know, do a Kaepernick, you're owned. And your emotions are owned. Obviously your money is owned.
Usually, basically a lot of teams now in the NBA are partly owned by these different investors.
Right.
There's only a few teams left that are owned outright by a family. Like the Lakers are owned by the Buss family. So she's an owner. No, there's nobody she's sharing it with. She is the owner.
Right.
Period. So that's pretty much the connotation when there's more than 2 or 3 people that have pieces.
Right.
Yeah, that's where the thing comes up. But plantation is a plantation.
I agree, and that's what whether it's on the football field, the basketball court, or wherever. It is a plantation, and you know, I can just go back to the quote that what Farrakhan says: "You're just highly paid slaves. That's it. You're not special. Yeah, you have some special talents. You were among the chosen few that were paid millions and millions of dollars to run a ball or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, I mean,
well, you know,
if you didn't have that title and that, you know, were able to do what you're doing for them, they wouldn't give a shit about you.
You know, and the sad thing is, most pro athletes, their sports agents don't look nothing like them. It's very rare. So they're in a system that is designed to rob them because there's a series on ESPN called 30-30, 30 for 30, and they talk about how these athletes go broke within 5 years of their career ending, or they retire, or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, there were some white guys in there, but like one guy, he retired from baseball, and he had invested in a tech industry, computer company, lost all his money. But he tried, he invested. It was a good try.
Right.
But most of the majority of people that went broke were the black athletes. And why did they go broke? Gold chains, strip clubs,
and the
child
crazy part
support.
about what you're saying is, this kind of ties in. Kevin Durant's mom manages all of his stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he's buying a home,
Right.
she is instrumental
Mama's
in
boy.
that. No, he's not a mama's boy.
He's a mama's
No,
boy.
he's not. And that's the point that I was
No,
going to make.
Messing
It's because I was about to eat your lunch. No, because he gets a lot of pushback from that. People say, oh, his mom, why is his mom involved? Why is his
because
mom
they want to
involved?
steal his money.
But to your earlier point, when they get white agents, nobody bats an eye.
Right.
And like you said, a lot of them do have white sports agents and stuff like that.
That
but
rob them blind.
But here his black mama, who else will have your better interest than your mama, right?
Unless you're LeBron's mom.
Yeah, because Al and I, we talk about this, quite a bit. And I say, well, the Mannings, their father is highly involved in everything they do. And no, I never hear anybody say, oh, well, their dad is involved. Why the daddy got to be involved? Or even we hear with LeVar Ball. Oh, LeVar Ball, why he's
the problem. He's the problem.
Yeah, but it's like everybody else, all the white cats have their families, involved and instrumental in making decisions and stuff. Nobody bats an eye. But you have somebody like Kevin Durant, whose mom is like she helps make major decisions for him, his production companies and all this other stuff, and people are like questioning that.
Well, it's almost like Monique and her husband.
Right, exactly. Monique being the comedian's, actress, Oscar award-winning actress. Her husband is instrumental in helping her make decisions and all this other stuff. And people are like, well, why he got to be there?
He's the problem.
He's ruining her career. But it's like, on one hand, you know who that comes from? It comes from a lot of us. But on one hand, I don't hear a lot of black men do it. There are some, but I don't hear a lot about it. But I hear mostly black women complain about Monique's man being in the mix. But it's like, here this man is doing, standing and doing what you guys complain that black men don't do. But when he's doing it, it's like, oh, he needs to sit down. He messing up her career. She needs to. But that's the order of things. She's supposed to listen to her man. Her man is supposed to guide her. And from where she was a couple years ago to now, it seemed like his guidance has helped her.
Right.
He told her to hold fast. Don't sell your soul for a couple of bucks and some recognition. Hold on to your integrity and his work.
And then think about this. When she was starting her career, that man was right by her side.
Right. And so I don't have a problem with that, but for some reason, a lot of people have a problem when black people use their own to help make decisions and manage the money. But if Kevin Durant had Becky Sue, nobody would say nothing. Oh, that's savvy.
Or Billy Schwartz.
And who was it? Was it Pat Riley? One of those cats that got in some hot water with LeBron because LeBron, has his peoples.
Right.
Managing a lot of his businesses, his peoples, boys that he grew up with and
people
stuff
he
like
trusts.
that. And I can't remember if it was Pat Riley or Phil Jackson, one of those guys. Can't remember, so don't quote me. Basically called LeBron's people like hood.
Yeah. They can't do business because they're not going along with
no, it wasn't even that. He just said it was something. I can't remember what it was, but he used the word hood with LeBron's people, and he was like, wait a second. Now, had I came in here with a bunch of white dudes, nobody would have said anything. But now I come in here with my boys, and they might not always be suited and booted, but they're getting the job done. Now it's a less than connotation because it's a bunch of black men helping me. And so I just think that, these players need to just, I can't tell them what to do, but it would behoove them to really understand the makeup of who they're really dealing with. You are a thing that can run a ball better than anybody else they could have drafted.
Well, what
Plain and simple.
I don't understand, 74% of the NBA is black. Okay.
How much?
74%.
Wow.
A lot of these guys are millionaires. I mean, you can sit on the bench and you can almost have $1 million contract. Group economics. out of all of the teams in the NBA, there's only one black owned, and that's owned by Michael Jordan, and that's the Charlotte Bobcats. They're not a very good team. Michael Jordan.
The who?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As great as Michael Jordan was as a player, doesn't always translate. You're good at what you're good at.
Right.
He's okay, but again, he's made some questionable decisions business-wise. Not saying that he shouldn't continue.
And he owns a small percentage.
No,
right?
he owns the majority
of
the Bobcats.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I'm thinking it's Jay-Z that owns one of those teams.
Yeah, no, Brooklyn Nets. He has a small percentage of that. But I'm not saying Michael Jordan give up your thing and give it to a white guy. Whatever. What I'm saying is we need to practice group economics. If 74% of the players are black and most of them are millionaires, most of them, why can't? Hey, dog, give me $1 million, you give me $1 million, you give me $1 million. We can start a team.
See, me and Al was talking about that this morning because who else has a basketball league that's okay? Right. It's Ice Cube. Yeah. Ice Cube has a basketball league, the 3-on-3. And to piggyback off your point, because that's the point I was making earlier, why don't these players who are black NBA players, ain't nobody going to see the NBA if y'all ain't there.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
They might have saw Larry Bird back in the day, but it was, come on.
Well, you do have some professional leagues out there, but nobody's going to see. Nobody's going to pay $100 to see
a bunch
Joe
of white
Scruggs
players doing the fundamentals.
Right.
Not saying fundamentals aren't important, but they go to see the Michael Jordans and the LeBrons and all these superstar black players that's going to give you an alley-oop and all that. And I don't even know basketball terms. I know a little bit. But so the point that I'm making is, what if some of them went to help Ice Cube form a league?
Right.
Dundada, you're no longer owned. You're no longer on the plantation. You're playing with your peeps, and your peeps are coming to see you in the story.
Right. And what we got to do is, again, practice group economics. You got some guys says, well, I'm going to form my own 3-on-3 league. Why are you going to get in competition with Ice Cube? Get into a partnership to expand that league. And get your piece of the pie there, and make it a stronger league versus trying to start another league that's going to ultimately fail.
And that way, when next time a white man come to the game, put their hands on you, can get rid of them for life. You don't have to say, well, what's unfair because if that had been us, then we'd have been bad. No, if you have your own thing, your own league, okay, he can never come in here. I don't care how much money he has. He put his hands on us. He could never come in here ever no more.
A good example of a movie to watch, in case you guys are interested. Have you ever heard of Bingo Long and Traveling All-Stars in Motorcade? Stars Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones, and it was a Motown movie.
Okay.
About a traveling, the Negro League baseball team, and what basically happened was they were cutting players and stuff, and the players didn't have insurance and stuff like that, and so Billy D. Williams was like, well, we can form our own team.
Right.
And the owners did everything to keep these guys from becoming successful.
Nothing new there.
Right.
But we are so far past that. We have the money, we have the smarts, we have the talent. Only thing we lack is courage and belief. And the fact that we don't need the establishment, the oppressor, to do that. I mean, we got some black outlets, where Byron, what's his name? Byron Allen just bought the Weather Channel. I'm sure he can find a way, to maybe stream something. I mean, there's a will, there's a way to do these things. I think Puffy owns some of Revolt TV and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean,
Oprah owns OWN.
Right. So it could happen if people stop waiting for the man. Oh, just like me, respect me. Oh, treat me fairly. Do this, do that. I don't want to call you an owner. Well, they are your owner. It's plain and simple. They're your owner.
When you're getting a check from a person or a corporation, they're your owners.
And I'm not saying all the dudes in the NBA or NFL, whatever, white people are bad, but it's more of the negative than there are the positive. Like the one guy that I can't think of the white player. Not the white player, but the white coach who's very upfront about racism and the Spurs coach.
Oh, Popovich.
Yeah, he's very out there. Like, no, there's some things need to change. I agree with Kaepernick is doing.
As a matter of fact,
all that stuff. Yeah.
Popovich was the very first coach to hire a female NBA assistant coach.
Right. So he's very progressive.
Very progressive.
So, but you don't have enough of him because we need those. We need people like him to help combat racism and help change the game. But until we get more of that, we're gonna have to do that on our. We should be doing it on our own anyway.
Well, and you know, here's my thing, because I've been hanging around with Demetria for over 30 years. I guess some of it's rubbing off on me. You know what? You could have your NBA. We'll just start our own shit.
Like how hard is that?
I mean, I'm gonna please treat me right.
Right. Please, Master. I don't want to go.
Just,
you won't.
You know, just don't push me when I'm doing. You know. You know what? No, I'm just gonna get my own.
How hard is that really? I mean, some of these players. What Steph Curry's got? What $240 million? They gave him a 240. Dude, you
max
got
contract.
Money. You got money.
Or think about this: Snoop Dogg has a youth sports league out here.
Yeah.
Okay, it ain't pro, but think about the kids that are going to develop in that league that are going to go on and do, and he's using his resources.
We talked about Ice Cube. There's another group of ex NFL players. They have a NFL league. I can't think of it.
They're trying to form it. It was the AFL that it just folded.
Yeah.
It started and it folded, but
why did it fold though?
Financing and stuff
but
like
why
that.
weren't we behind that?
Right.
Like we're behind the NFL.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
And that's just the long and short.
And then Jim McMahon, he's going to relaunch the XFL. I think next year. $1 billion. Here's a guy that's not going to give up on his dream to have an alternate league to the NFL.
But we'll get behind that though.
Because it'll open up some more opportunities for athletes, which is great.
Right.
However, why can't we just form our own stuff?
We scared to let go of massa.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. Some people argue or that. That's exactly what it is. We are scared to let go of massa's apron strings. We don't think we can be something without massa because we've just been conditioned. Oh, you got to have the blessings of massa before you can do anything. Or that same
you're not
argument.
Be successful.
Or, you know what, we tried to do that before, but they just keep stopping us every which way we go.
And we got to keep going.
Right. And so, and another example, not that this has anything to do with sports, I think his name is Daryl. I don't want to mess his name up, but he is the leader. I call him King because that's what he is to me. He's the leader of the Black Panthers in Philadelphia, I believe it is. Okay. And I watched a video of him yesterday, and he's notorious. I would say notorious, but he's well known for, I guess, no, for the same thing. For going into establishments that in the black neighborhoods that treat black people bad. And so this video that I saw yesterday, he goes into this liquor store that's ran by Arabs. Apparently the Arabs in there brutalized 2 black people who were shopping in the store, whatever the case is. And he goes in there with his group of people and he tells what the deal is. On this such and such day, y'all, did whoop-de-whoop to whatever this case, that, the other. So, and he said this, he says, you guys are shut down. He says, you guys need to lock the doors, turn off the lights. You are out of business until further notice. And he said he has to do behind the counter because, in our neighborhoods, they had a glass, partition where they don't want
3-inch partition.
All that. And the dude, I don't know if the dude told his name, he says, but whatever your name is, he said, you come lock these doors because you're not getting no more of our money. He says, you guys are shut down today. And I guess somebody, you know how we do, somebody trying to come in and says, nah. He said, it's shut down. Y'all don't come in here.
I'm just going in there for some Twizzlers real quick.
And he told the brothers at the door, don't let nobody else in here. Wow. And the dude came and closed the damn door. Wow. And he said, you guys are shut down. You're not going to come in here and take our money and brutalize our people out, man. I had to fan myself.
Were you getting moist?
I was. In an intellectual way, though. You know, like, wow. Just like, woo.
Long time coming.
But this is something he does. And I said, he didn't say, well, you think you could treat us right?
Could you not beat at least 3 of us?
He said, no. It is shut down. He wasn't asking. He was telling. He was affirmative in what he was saying. And everybody followed. Because you had people out there like, it's like, no, I said it's shut down.
That's it. Done.
Done deal. And he said, to further notice, you guys are not going to be over. He said, and we don't need these, pastors in the community come and talk about we don't make a deal. Let's sit down.
Yeah, we gonna pray on it.
Nope. He says, no more of that. Because these people come in our neighborhoods and they do what they want and they don't think they'll be held accountable.
There's no consequences.
And I'm like, well, it's more men like him. Maybe they need a bat signal to, to summons you guys. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, so you think about, I'm going to find his name. Actually, he friended me yesterday.
Oh, did he?
I friended him. I'm sorry, let me get this right. I friended him and he accepted. And I was like, I've been friended by the coolest, accepted, if you will.
Did you
by
go
one
to
of the
L's
coolest
page?
people.
You know, L said stop sending him friend requests. He's not going to add you.
No, we're already friends. Okay? We are already friends. I just want you to know. But I'm like, he can do this on a smaller level. Okay. Why can't the people with the influence and the money do the same thing?
Because
I'm gonna find him.
It's going to affect my coin.
Okay, but I mean, I'm sure his coin is affected to some degree.
Yeah, I don't want to get involved with It's just like Will Smith and the original Aunt Viv, when she was asking for a $5,000 raise. He was like, "Your deal is your deal,
right?
Our deal is
right."
Our deal."
And she's been having the butcher's block ever since. His name is Daryl King Rick Farmer II.
Okay.
And they are out of, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Not Philadelphia, Milwaukee. And this brother here is a force to he's a big dude.
Okay.
I
think I could take him.
Yeah, oh shit.
I think I could
that's a big dude.
A couple of hits to the throat, I think he'll go down.
Right. But so, he just goes into these establishments and tells them, no, y'all done. Awesome. And so he's able to organize. Well, obviously, he's a force to be regular, but he's very authoritative in what he does.
Yeah, I would just I'm not trying to send a warning or something like that. I just hope that he's very careful because that is a form of racketeering when you do that.
And you know what? Screw it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'd rather be on the told in line than to keep having these people come in our neighborhoods and
no, I'm not telling you to stop. I'm just saying that's what they're going to try to do.
I know, but just check it out though. These cats, these Arab Indian agents, all these, they're not even afraid.
What should I be afraid of black people? You guys are getting your asses kicked every day. I just come to kick some ass.
That's what I'm saying though.
I come to kick ass.
They're not even afraid that if you could have, that could
you
be
won't even swing.
Granddad or uncle or somebody you're doing that to.
You won't even swing. Your men are not even in your community. Why should I be afraid?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So how they're like not even afraid to do that. And so men like Daryl, he's like, oh, you gonna be afraid. Like, because to your point, and I get it, because some people probably say, well, you gotta be careful, this, that, and the other. Like, what else do we have to lose as black people at this point? We've been playing by the rules forever, the rules that are always stacked against us. We've been playing by these rules, and we've gotten nowhere. Same thing with voting. I'm gonna vote Democrat. For what? The Democrats haven't done anything for us ever. But I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh, if you don't vote, you can't be heard. Or you don't have a voice, you ain't been heard all this time. So
I've been voting and I haven't been heard.
We've been playing by the rules. We always play by the rules. And so, but you think about the rules that we play by, the people who are making the rules, they ain't playing by those rules. But we playing by them, and we haven't gotten anywhere. So sometimes it's going to take us to rock the boat and say, I'm not playing by those rules anymore. Because if I come and complain to you that whoop-de-whoop that owns the liquor store put his hands on my peoples, you're going to say, well, we know we're going to investigate, we're going to look into it. You ain't going to do none of that. Because for one thing, the city council allows those people to set up shop there. They know that it generates some money for them. They know black people on the surface are weak. We're not going to do nothing but cry and complain. And so that'll get swept under the rug. But no, if I'm going and I let you know, it's going to be on it correctly.
No, it's not that they know that they're weak. They systematically take our strong people out of the community and incarcerate them, be it male and female.
Absolutely. But you know what? Then another one needs to rise, and another one needs to rise, and we just rise because you can't do that to the Jewish community. You can't do that to the Arab, the Asians, the Mexicans. You can't do that to nobody else but us because they continue to rise. The LGBTQ, you do that to them, and they go off. So we just need to follow suit. Okay, you take one, and another one will rise. It has to stop to where they smash out one sector like the Black Panthers, what they used to be in the 60s, and then, okay, it's kind of dwindles here and there, whatever the case is. No, we just need to continue to rise until we get the results. Just like with this reparation thing. I guarantee you there's some candidates who thought, oh, that'll go away.
Yeah, it'll go away.
Because it was an issue before, and it went away. And so they probably think, black people, they get excited, for a couple of weeks or so, and then they get distracted.
You got to wobble.
But, right. They get distracted by what Steve Harvey doing and Oprah and, the housewives. They get distracted. So but now they're like, wait, this reparation thing is sticking around because even Ta-Nehisi, I think that's how how you say his name.
Nasheed, yeah.
Not Tariq, but the guy who wrote helped write the Black Panthers. He even said in the article I read yesterday, he didn't think that it would stick. Because it was 5 years ago that he made the argument for reparation when he was talking to Obama and a couple other people. And he said he didn't think it would go anywhere. The whole argument, call for reparations or the recall, if you will, for reparations. And he said, so here we are. So he says these people are going to have to start taking it seriously because it's not going away. People want their money and stop making an argument. Well, where are you going to get the money from? No, there's money.
Yeah, we don't care.
You get it from where you got it from. When you got it,
take it out of the defense budget. You're taking money from the defense and building a fence.
Right.
You authorize that.
Right. You'll find the money. And so anyway, in that part of the sports segment,
we put up David Ortiz.
We get into it right now. Get off the plantation, okay, and go build your own. Build your own leagues and be done with Massa, because you can call him an investor or whatever you want. He's still your owner.
Build your own leagues. Build your own record companies. Build your own stuff.
Right.
Period.
End of story. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to David Ortiz. It's a lot of people
Big
know
Papi.
him as Big Papi. They said he got the name because I guess he couldn't remember people's names, so he would call other people Papi, and that name kind of stuck with him.
So it's not true that the girls are saying.
I mean, I'm sure it is because he's a big dude. You know,
that don't mean you.
Big,
that don't mean anything. I just a lot of weight on you.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't have any personal knowledge of that. Okay. So anyway, David Ortiz played for the Boston Red Sox for about 14 seasons. He is, I guess, held the record for 54 home runs in a season, and so he's a very decorated baseball player. Okay, now he's retired. I think he retired in 2016. A couple days ago, he was in the Dominican Republic. His home what do you call it? Country. Yeah. The names escape me. Home country is at a bar or something like that, a club or a bar. In the video, you can see some assailants, if you will, came up on a motorcycle and shot him in the back, went through his stomach and damaged some of his organs. Had to take out some of his intestines. It sounded like his gallbladder. You know, so he was flown from the Dominican Republic to Boston, where they did a second surgery. It sounds like he's doing okay now. Yeah. He's stable. So anyway, speedy recovery to him. So now there's a story going around that it was actually a targeted hit by a big-time drug kingpin out there, because allegedly, I'll say allegedly because I don't know how true it is, that David Ortiz was messing around with his old lady, with the drug dealer's old lady. And so I was actually having this conversation with Al, and he was like, oh man, but it's still messed up, and gosh, he's so well loved and things like that. I said, let me tell you something. If this is true, because I don't like to get into the whole gossip of it, if this is true, don't nobody care about you being well renowned and well loved if you dipping off into his cookie jar.
Yes.
Don't nobody care about that. And so they're also saying that these two dudes that hit him, if you will, were police officers, hired police officers to exact the hit. They didn't do a very good job. They were, I guess, were supposed to try to take him out. They didn't, and they were arrested and all that. They said, in fact, they were beaten by this mob that caught up to him.
Yeah, caught up to him.
And so I'm like, people got to understand a couple things. Let's just say this is true. Okay, let's say it's true that Big Papi was being Big Papi with somebody else's woman.
Which is plausible. We don't know for a fact.
And they say he's married. Well, he's married as well. But my thing is, who gives a damn? Am I supposed to respect your National Baseball League record if you messing with my woman?
Right.
And I was telling Al, I said, the problem is a lot of times people, like, we've gotten into the society of this keyboard game banging. Somebody find out you screwing around with their wife and their man, they don't get on Facebook, put you on Facebook, put y'all on blast on Twitter. All that Twitter fingers is what they call it. I said, but what I think people need to realize, there's some real life gangsters out there still. There's people who, will stand by some, you messing with my woman? I can't just, I'm not going to get on Facebook with it.
Right.
I'm going to get you when you ain't looking. Let's just, if that's true. And so there's still a code that you got to respect regardless of who you are. Nobody wants you messing around with a woman.
Right.
And so, as I said, I don't have a whole lot to say about that. I wish he, speedy recovery and all of that, but there's still some things you got to respect regardless of who you are, Big Papi, Little Papi, whatever. You still got to respect people and their stuff.
And again, I've traveled a little bit in my time, and I'm going to tell you this: when you go to these countries that have abject poverty, Los Angeles, places like that, abject poverty, you got to remember these people are in such a desperate situation that when they see that you don't even have to be a big poppy, you could just be a regular American tourist.
Right.
Right now, they don't know what is happening down in the Dominican Republic where these
Right.
tourists are being poisoned and killed or whatever, but you're in a country that has abject poverty. They have nothing to lose by either robbing and killing you and
Right.
whatever else. You know what?
You gotta watch your six,
Yeah.
because you don't know. You know, I know you want to be amongst your peoples and stuff, but when
Yeah.
you reach that level of fame,
Well, it's not even fame. There's a term called ugly American, and a lot of people don't even know what that means. The ugly American is when you go to another country and you are just so disrespectful and you're throwing your money around and your influence around.
right?
And it looks really ugly because you feel that you're entitled and,
Right.
you're treating the local people like shit and stuff like that. That's the ugly American syndrome, and a lot of that does go on. Unfortunately, it does. They just figure, oh, I'm an American, I can do what I want, blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, you can't mess with the dope man's woman. That's what
Exactly.
you can't do. Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, you just can't do it, and you shouldn't do it. And like I said, I don't know all the dynamics of the story, even if this stuff is even true. But that's what the word is.
Mhm.
It was and his people, David's people, are saying that it's a hit. Okay, that it was most definitely a hit, an organized hit. So, but his people are disputing if that was because he was messing with the woman. But
Right now, and we don't even have the whole story. Are we sure it's a woman? What if it was maybe he invested in Ortiz in something and something?
I mean,
already,
who knows?
it could be a whole bunch of things.
Hit.
Yeah.
It was definitely a hit. So he should be careful, for lack of better words. But yeah, I mean, you got to respect people regardless of what walk of life they're from. You can't just.
Absolutely.
And then if you look at the video, he had his back turned.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's true that you're out there dipping in somebody else's cookie jar, you had your back turned.
And
That, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like he's a lovely guy. People really love David Ortiz, so I don't want to speak bad about him. But I mean, those are the kind of things you're doing. You might want to you have your head on straight.
right, but that ain't the player code. As we all know, those of us that used to run, rip and run Thundercat that we were. You don't see me going to like bad areas of LA just to go down there and I'm gonna sit in this club and I know it's frequented by certain folks.
You gotta be careful.
And you really do. But that goes to show you, women are. That's a powerful drug. It really is. Women are a powerful drug to where you're gonna kill somebody over dipping into your honey
I
pot.
mean, he put a bullet in her.
Right. Well, he might have put something else in there, but I don't know about a bullet.
Yeah, I mean, evidently he wasn't putting something else in it because
Right.
somebody else was putting something else in it. Okay?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, I mean, but to your point, women are very powerful.
Very powerful.
Y'all men be doing some extra crazy stuff behind the power of P, if you will. But
I'm sorry, there's just too much P out here for me to have to be killing you.
Or getting up in somebody else's P.
Right. I can make it happen in that way, but I hope he recovers. Here's the thing: you ever hear these stories about like, oh, he's on recovery, next thing the person's dead?
Right.
Until he is out of there with his family.
Well, his dad has been giving the reports, the updates saying that he's stable and he's doing okay because they did move him from the Dominican Republic. Like, let's bring him.
Yeah. But when it comes to stuff like that, I usually wait until they're with their family and loved ones because what if the conspiracy? If it is a conspiracy, it's still going on.
Yeah, well, hopefully, he's gonna be all right. So,
because like I said, the sports agent, Guy Schwartz could be trying to get the money or silence him from being sued. I mean, there's just so much stuff in the sports world when it comes to this major money.
Right.
I mean, a lot of stuff I just don't believe anymore because it's like it doesn't make sense how this guy could be broke and he's suing his agent and all of a sudden he dropped dead or he was in a car accident. It's just there's too many coincidences. So we wish Big Papi a quick recovery. All I can tell you is that. But 105-degree heat. What do you think is going to be happening here?
As y'all can see, I'm melting. I'm surprised my hair is even it's holding up. I'm shocked. Right. But yeah, it's hot as a mug. I got sweat going down my back.
And it's so funny because we were complaining how late summer has come, and now it's here.
Yeah,
it's
we didn't
bang.
get spring at all.
But
thank God this is the last hot day like this. It just came out of nowhere.
3 days in a row.
Yeah, it was supposed to be going down in more humid temperature. So, you know, I apologize if I'm a greasy, sweaty mess right here. I would like to think that my skin is like dewy, but something tells me that I'm dripping.
No, you're not dripping. You're not dripping.
But so yeah.
I couldn't get with a woman like she sweats too much. Too much for me.
Hey, some men like that.
Well, no, they do. But you know, look, I'm a realist. I ain't putting in all. Come on, I'm not doing all
like
this.
That.
I'm not putting all this work in like that. So, South Africa. What's your latest update? What's going on? You got the passports? You ready to go?
For sure. Yeah, we ready. We are ready. Only
ready
thing is not ready is my bags. I pack very light.
Yes.
So I'm not taking a bunch of stuff. I'll take a bag and bring some stuff back.
If she's packing light, that means she might not be returning. So you might want to go ahead and pull that passport.
I'm telling you, he'll do a Liam Neeson.
He'll
get me.
He'll be heading over there.
Right. Or he might be like, she gone. Come on, Batisha.
I am the commander-in-chief of the EFF. Keep El Debaj.
That's when we're going to have a problem. Okay? Yeah. Right. So, no, I'm actually excited to go to South Africa. If you guys don't know, we are going to South Africa in September. Donovan, my daughter, and I, we're going.
Not just South Africa, we're going to Seychelles and Abu Dhabi.
Yes, we're going to, do some rolling, some jet setting, if you will.
Jet setting, exactly. And
well, we're going to spend most of our time in South Africa. And I'm proud to say too that we're not going to stay at a white establishment. We're not saying right. Donovan was like, what?
They got us in a hut. I mean, these people are so Afrocentric that Madula had a place, and her daughter rented it, and so we're going to be in a mud hut next to the zoo.
It's not a mud hut. It's a very nice Airbnb.
It is.
That's black owned.
Yes.
Because I was telling Donovan, how the hell we going to the motherland and spending money with white folks?
Because we're the media.
No, we ain't giving. Matter of fact, it is my only goal. Well, I won't say my only goal, but my number one goal is to not spend one of my black dollars with white people over there in South Africa. I don't care.
So we're not going to the club thing over there and just kind of hanging out?
If it's black owned, yes, we going.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I'm just following along, like I said, and a lot of people have been asking, what are we going to do over there? We're going to do a lot. We're actually going to report what is going on and talk to the people and mix and match in, and we're basically we're going to see for ourselves what the hype is about.
We're going home.
Yes.
Okay? Because as black people, we go everywhere else but home.
Africa.
Yeah, we go everywhere else but home. And we want to go home. We don't have a specific thing we're going to go do. We're just going to go and observe and absorb the culture and just see what our people on the other side, if you will, are like. I don't know if we come from South Africa per se, but close enough, right? So we want to see what it's like.
I'd rather come from Ireland, but no.
Oh, you.
No, go ahead.
They be getting us for saying cool on here. I don't know what you're saying. Quit cool. But anyway, so we want to go over there and see for ourselves who and where we come from and who we are. So,
what I'm looking for is the experience. As I've been to Africa before, but I've never been as a tourist.
Right.
To go over there and absorb what's happening and say, yeah, you're home, and kind of say these are our ancestors, these are our distant cousins.
Right.
And just have that feeling, because I almost guarantee by the time we come back, we'll be like, we need to go back over there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. This is the part that I'm looking forward to. Is when we get off the plane and we step foot on the motherland. I'm looking for that overwhelming moment of just the way you swell with pride. Yes. Like, I'm home. I'm
return.
I'm amongst my people. Yes. Like my people.
Right.
Right.
We don't have to worry about seeing no Hispanic person and burrito shops and all this other stuff.
And not to cut you off, we go to eat every Tuesday, and I cannot get this man to go to a Mexican restaurant.
Can't do it.
He said, I'm not going to do it. No, I told my daughter the other day, I said, I get why Donovan feels that way. Yeah. And I love Mexican.
No, and I loved it too, but we're oversaturated. I'm just done. It's just done. I used to love the guac. Now I'm done. I can't even go to Taco Bell. That's how bad it's gotten for me. But I am really going to get excited about that. Of course, we're going to rub elbows in the Seychelles. And for the podcast, we're going to see you guys next week. But I want to continue this real quick because I have something to say in regards to traveling. My uncle, who's from a small town in Louisiana, he's seeing what I'm doing, and he's gotten the bug. And there's no excuse why he can't travel the way he's supposed to be traveling with his wife. His kids are starting to grow up and stuff. I said, man, you can't just go to Texas. You can't just go on these cruises down to the Bahamas.
Get out.
Yeah, how am I doing it? I'm just doing it. I don't care. I'm
not making no excuses. excuses. Just do it.
Right. You know, and then of course we're doing the show, and I want to bless Demetra and her daughter. Of course, they're doing their thing. But how long have you dreamt about maybe going back to Africa?
It's been a long time.
And what I tell you, let's just go do it.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, okay. Did you get permission from him?
I actually did get permission from my man.
Yeah,
he
we
was like,
want to be in order. We want to be in order.
What? No,
Yeah.
no, but I learned that from my mom a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Just do it.
There's somebody, and Richard Branson, one of the
richest men in the world.
Yeah, the businessman that I look up to as far as his business and stuff. He says if somebody offers you an opportunity,
take it.
Take it. And figure it out along the way. A lot of people say no to opportunity. Oh shit, I'm scared. I ain't never been past Riverside, Africa.
Or they're worried about the money. If nobody asked you and talked the money, don't worry about the money.
Just say yes and figure it out. If you really want to do it, you figure out the rest. Don't let that stop you, because my mom, RIP, used to say all the time, and it's one of my mottos, if something's not going right, is there's money everywhere.
Yes.
Money is everywhere, and I swear for God, money just manifests.
It does.
It does.
It does.
I mean, obviously you got to do some work, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just, hey, come on.
Like I said, over there in South Africa, I mean, look, American girls, top dollar.
No, it ain't that kind of money.
Yeah, no.
Okay?
But I'm really excited about it, because a lot of people inbox me, keep asking me, are you guys really going to go South Africa? And it's funny how they don't believe you. Yeah, they don't believe you.
On social media and they say they're somewhere, but they're
not. Yeah, it's like, yes, we're going. We're actually going. If you know anything about me, if I say something, it's done. It's done. And like you said, a long time ago, I stopped worrying about the money. I
just figure it out and
I decided to go. We only have one life to live, so live it. Live it. And before we go, how are you not worried about all the student debt you accumulate, but you're worried about a one-time trip going somewhere that you can really appreciate going to?
Right. Or you're not worried about all the money you spend on cable. You cut the cable shit. That's a trip.
That's a trip. It's either your airline trip or it's your hotel.
Right.
One or the other. But we'll spend $300 a month.
Right.
To have cable.
Jeez, not me.
Yeah. And my whole thing about it, your daughter being younger than us.
Not that much.
Yeah, you had it when you were 11.
I did.
12.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you put that on that person, and that person is going to continue that later on.
Absolutely.
It might take her 10 years to get back there, but she's going to go back.
Right. She might stay.
Right. Find her at eBay from Good Times and just be there.
Right.
But then her dad would go mercenary looking for her. But that's what we got to start doing. We got to start thinking in a different way. If they can do it, there's no excuse why we can't do it.
Right.
All this money out of everybody highballing these big homes and Mercedes and
that's why they can't go travel, because they paying for that stuff.
Right. So
let some of that stuff go and actually go live life.
Exactly. So be on the lookout. When we get ready to go, we're going to document it. It's going to be a docu-series. You guys see a lot of my trips. I put all my trips on YouTube. That way anybody can go and see, yeah, he was there. Look at that. Look at that. And some of my videos are like an hour, 2 hours. One of them, when I went to Vietnam, that's 5 hours of video footage I had up there. So live life. I mean, it's what it is. Like I said, when my aunt passed recently, I was sad, but it really made me thankful that I've seen a lot, more so than she has in the lifetime. And she went through a lot, but to actually go there. And real quick, my cousin, her daughter, showed me a postcard back in 1997 when I first went to Australia.
Wow.
That my aunt still
you're notorious for sending
yes, the postcards. Yes.
Even to this day.
Yes, I'll send the postcards. So you guys check out Demetra K on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She talks to you guys in live time. I'm going to put the phone up this time, so I keep forgetting to do it. It's been hot. And check her out, Facebook Live, and check out the YouTube video. So we'll see you guys again next week. It is hot. I'm going to go get me some ice and a piece of chicken and call it a day.
Peace.
Peace.